So we continue with a Siman 62. It's very interesting Siman. Laws of business transaction. Okay. So we'll start with a C of 14, and it says, if one gives money to his fellow Jew and appoints him to act as his agent to purchase a land or movable object, and the agent went and purchased the item for himself with his own money, this agent is deemed deceitful person. However, if he bought it with the money of the one who sent him, he must give it to him, even if he had bought it for himself. Okay, so now let's do it again, and with the commentary. I mean, it's very common. I think this kind of situation when somebody sent somebody to buy something and said, no, you know what, it's only one last piece, I'm going to buy it for myself. Okay, I also have money, and to the guy who sent me, I said, here's your money. He's like, you gave me like your credit, your debit card, your whatever card, or you gave me cash. Here's your cash. Please count exactly as you gave me, and that's it. So they did not have it. And in the meantime, he got it the last piece because it was a good price. So, right, it's very interesting. So one more time. If one gives money to his fellow Jew, so this fellow Jew become a shaliach. Shaliach means agent, right? The agent, it's like continuation of the person's hand, right? So very important, right? And appoint him to act as his agent, purchase land of movable objects. So he said, go like maybe like I'm just making up an example, right? Maybe for more close to our time, right? So there is a real estate, right? And the real estate owner, right, send somebody, this agent, and said, I think there is a foreclosures or whatever. So yeah, buy this apartment, buy this house, right? So here's a checkbook from our agency, right? It's enough time. It's enough money for down payment, and that's it. So you can write 30, 40, 50,000 check. There is no problem. So and this guy comes and see that the price even lower when they expected. And he said, look, I better buy it for myself. I'm going to fix it up and sell it. I'm going to make money more than a year's salary, right, in one transaction. So he bought this house, right, for himself. That's the situation we're talking about, right? So he was sent by the owner, but he acted as a like a self-proprietor. Okay, and the agent went and purchased the item for himself, exactly our case, with his own money. So exactly our own case. So he was sent to do something, but he did not. Okay, he acted for himself. And the agent is deemed deceitful person. So technically, he did not. He did not do what he was charged to do, but after the fact, it's his. This house is his, basically. Commentary. Since the agent was used his own money, the acquisition of the item for himself is effective, right? I mean, we got it without this commentary. It's clear. He paid his own money, right? It was a transaction. Nevertheless, he deems a deceitful person for reneging on his commitment to make the purchase on behalf of one who sent him, and purchasing for himself instead. So this guy, the owner of real estate, and people would say, no, he's rich, and I heard it in my life. I said, who cares that they're rich? Like, what is your business? Like, is he rich because of you? So you working there, when you sign up. I had this conversation with somebody, like, I don't know, a few months ago. I said, you sign up for this salary. Okay, maybe it's lousy salary, but you sign up. Like he said, I need a job. Okay, you need a job. So if you like, you're not allowed to steal. You want more money, go to a different job, ask a promotion, ask I don't know, like increase in salary, like something, but you cannot just do whatever. I'm not going to say, but I told you, you're not allowed to do whatever you do. You have to return whatever this guy was doing. You understand? So, right, so this person is a deceitful person. Okay, even though, like, after the fact, transaction states, but he's a deceitful person. However, if he bought it with the money of the one who sent him, he must give it to him. So, but he cannot use the owner's money and say, look, you know what? Actually, I like this apartment. I like this house. It's a good price. Actually, I negotiated down even. So I'm going to pay back to you on Monday. So now it's Thursday. So on Monday, I'm going to pay back to you. No, there is no paying back to me. Right, so because you were charged as the agent, you spend the money of the owner. So this thing belongs to the owner. Your intention is irrelevant, right? So that's very, very practical halacha, right? Okay, so continue. And actually, another student we had that he was buying things on eBay. That's what like a company did. Whatever, some business on eBay as well, right? And he said that like he asked me a question if he is required to report to boss. So boss is a Jew, and another guy also a Jew were like during the work day. He was doing a transaction for himself on eBay, like beats or whatever, like also for the owner, but mostly for himself. It's very interesting, right? Okay. Any questions before we continue? It's very interesting, Halach.
Rabbi?
Yes.
Yeah, there's three questions, but only one of them is in regards to this topic.
Okay, so let's do on the topic. Yeah, go ahead.
I believe, it says Shalom Kodolaf, if Shimon appoints Reuven as his agent to purchase an apartment in a specific region, but without specifying which apartment, assuming multiple apartments are available, is Reuven allowed to purchase an apartment in the same region before he purchased it from Shimon?
I mean, as long as he like okay. So he is a city. If I understood the question correctly. So this Reuven sent Shimon to buy apartment. Those neighborhoods. Let's say they have open houses, like in the spring where we live, like when it becomes like either like a little warmer, people start like selling apartments, houses, whatever they sell, right? So there are multiple of them. So he sent, let's say the boss said, take my car, even let's say, take my car and you can go, right, and go buy this apartment, like apartment. I don't know the apartments. Let's say today they have videos, they have these pictures. This you can see, but sometimes somebody showed me the picture, and like did the picture. I said like this apartment is huge, right? But then we were helping somebody, but then I saw the description. This apartment is tiny. So I spoke to the agent, and the agent started laughing at me. He said, like you're the only person who got it. It's like they have a special lens in a camera. So it's like a very long living room, right? But I understand. I live in this neighborhood. I know. I understand. That's what was the whole apartment was. I don't know, like 600 square feet. It's a tiny apartment. I mean, it's not very tiny, but a small apartment. Like you're serious, but when you look at the rooms, it's like not ending. It's like a wall, like so further away. It's like unbelievable. You can play ball there. Okay, of course not. Of course not. So right. So you go and see like you have to see with your own eyes, like condition of the apartment and stuff like that. So if he was given money, right, or checkbook or whatever from this owner of real estate, and this person decided I'm also going to buy one apartment for myself. Of course, first he has to fulfill the thing that he was sent, right, for, right. For example, if he saw the first apartment, and that's what boss asked me to do, he said only like let's say, I don't know, I'm just making up things, right? So I with a bathroom with a window, right? So some bathrooms have a window, some don't, right? So and he said he saw this apartment, that's exactly he want. Moderate conditions, this and this price, this and that, like hardwood floor or something. Okay, that's what I want. That's what he want, and I would buy this for him, and then I can go and look for myself. There is no problem then, right? But if he said, look, he negotiated the price down. This I'm going to take for myself, and to boss whatever happens. All right. You understand? It would not be proper. But technically, to buy two apartments, there is no problem. So if you fulfill the mission, whatever boss told you, and maybe the first apartment, that's not what he wanted, but what that's what you wanted, so you can buy it, yeah. But make sure that you also invest time in working for that owner, right? Any other questions?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Okay, so that's and these people, of course, especially not religious people, they like to do the business on the side, of course, right? Working for a boss, but working for themselves as well. Okay, not everybody, but there are situations. Okay, so next halacha number 15, and it says, in order to transfer the ownership of any property, whether through a sale or a gift, a formal act of acquisition, a kinyan, must be made. Even if the sale has been agreed upon and the price is set, in the absence of a kinyan, the transaction can be reversed. Nevertheless, after the parties have been reached a certain point of their understanding that the sale will be carried out, it is inappropriate to renege on the commitment. Right? The level of the obligation that each party has to carry through on the transaction depends on the stage in which one wishes to withdraw, as explained in the following theme. Okay. So before we continue, so it was an introduction. So before we continue into details, so let's do this introduction again with a commentary, and we're going to try to explain. So meaning, so just because they agreed to do something, it's not 100% like end of the transaction, right? So we'll see. Okay, so one more time. In order to transfer the ownership of any property, whether through sale or a gift, so gift and sale. So some people are somehow get confused, but I'm not sure why. Because gift is a transfer of the ownership, right? And that's exactly the reason why we're not allowed to give gifts on Shabbos, right? Because it's a transfer of ownership. And when people transfer ownership, they like maybe they want to write some document or like change the document, or cross his name on a document because another document should be another name should be written instead. So all of these things, that's because the gift business transaction, so meaning change the ownership, so it's not allowed on Shabbos. Okay, so whether through sale or gift, a formal acquisition, kinyan, must be made. So let's see the commentary. Different types of kinyanim are used to effect the transfer of the ownership of real estate, and to effect transfer of movable objects. Right, so real estate, what is the most popular Kenyan, right? So like Kenyan that you came and used like you you started changing locks, for example. You start building a fence, right, or removing the fence, or and do something. So everybody know that you you got the property, even though I did not see my neighbor. I'm just making up the story, right? I that he sold apartment, right? I did not know that apartment were for sale, but I see the guy come and then he has a key. He opened apartment now. Like people come like painters or something like with all of the paints with ladders and stuff like that. So I understand that he's the owner. That's it. So for me, it's a Kenyan, right? But some when person like shows that he is the owner, and for movable object when it's brought in my domain, right, or at least when I have something like when I go to the store and when I go out of the store with something like in my hand with a bag or some item like that I picked it up and move it, right? So it's a Kenyan. Okay, but we're going to speak about it. Okay, continue. So you need right, just verbal thing or just sign of the things is not enough, right? So you have to you have to do more. Even if the sale has been agreed upon and the price is set, so they agreed, okay. In absence of a Kenyan, so some physical actions, Kenyan is physical action, the transaction can be reversed. Okay, so meaning, for example, guy wants to buy thing and he put the money on a counter, and even if the other person got the money, right, and then he changed his mind, he can return the money because there is no transaction. So just transfer of the money is not a transaction. Transaction when that person received the item and he right. So that's what it is. Nevertheless, after the parties have reached a certain point in their understanding that the sale will be carried out, it is inappropriate to renege on a commitment. So after some time, I think it's I said about this video that we should make. I didn't get to it. Meshapera curse. So they call this person who who agreed and then he trying to renege the deal. So they call him to the base deal and they curse. They said, if you're going to back out of this deal, we're going to curse you. There's all of the curses in the Torah, so it's better not to. Of course, if second side is okay, say okay, understand, never mind. So right, that's not a problem. But if second side, like I said, look, I want to buy your house. I already sold mine. I'm homeless. Basically, I live in my mother-in-law basement. Right? What do you mean you change your mind? You said we're buying, we're selling, right? The level of the obligation of each party has to carry through on a transaction depends on the stage at which one wishes to withdraw. Okay, so it's possible, but not advisable, and we're going to see. As explained in the following seifim. When someone paid even only part of the price of the purchase, or marked the purchase with identifying mark in the presence of a seller who did not object, or the seller told him, mark your purchase, then even the action that he took was performed in a manner that does not affect Kenyan transfer of the property. So we're going to discuss this. Nevertheless, anyone who reneged on his commitment and withdraws from the transaction, regardless of whether it is a buyer or the seller who withdraws, has not acted in a manner of befitting a Jew, and must receive the curse. Oh, Mishapera. Here we go. Mishapera. It's yeah. All right. He who. So Mishapera means he who demanded retribution. That is that they curse him in the Beis Din rabbinical court, saying, he, meaning HaShem, who exacted retribution from the people who sinned during the generation of flood, and from the people who sinned during generation of dispersion, and from the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And the people of and from Egyptians who drowned in the sea due to their evil acts, he will exact the retribution from one who does not stay by his word. You know what, let me just mark it just in case. I think I know where is it, but just in case if I cannot find. Okay. So let's do from the beginning, and we're going to explain. So basically, like Beis Din is trying to pressure this person, and this person is know what is about to happen. Okay. So one more time, when someone paid even small part of the price of the purchase, so technically, as we said, like based on the halacha, that person who got money, he can return the money. Just that's halacha. We said it's not proper to do, but halacha is that he has a right to return the money. But on one hand, but on the other hand, that person had all of the expectation, right? An example, I think Rambam, I think it was Babylon and Rambam. So he said that the guy left a deposit, right? And he said, I apologize, I don't have the whole amount with me. So let me go to my village, to my home to collect it. I'm going to come back in 2 days, 3 days, whatever. And he comes back with the rest of the money. And this guy says, sorry, I sold it. Look, I sold it. I apologize. So here's your deposit. So it's not proper. That's not what we do. Okay. So even he left a deposit, small, only part of the price. So we don't say any it shows that person who gave deposit, he's serious, right? Or mark the purchase with identifying marks. He said, I want those, like for example, like set aside, right? He wants to buy tomatoes. He set aside 5-6 tomatoes that I want to buy. So like I'm going to put it on top of this box. Okay, I'm coming back to let me go back. I'm going to get money. Those are my tomatoes. Okay. Right, and he did it in the presence of the seller. So seller knew like what is going on, and he right, and the seller did not object. So meaning in this mind, in the mind of that person. So if he took a deposit from me, that means that he wants to sell it to me. Right, we agreed on the price, or he told me the price. I gave okay, right. You said 100. I have 10 now. Let me go back. I'm going to bring you the rest. He said okay, no problem. So he put this 10 in the pocket. So in this guy's mind, the buyer, it's done deal. I just have to get him the rest. Or he set aside these 5 tomatoes. So in his mind, it's like I just need to buy to bring the money, and the tomatoes are mine. Right, and this guy, the seller was quiet, or the seller told him, "Mark your purchase," meaning seller encouraged him, like, "Okay, tell me, like, what do you want to buy? The chairs, right? Like, which chair you want to buy? Just mark on a ticket or something like that. We're going to, like in some, like at least in olden days, in a furniture store or in like right, they put a ticket on them on like sold to, and they would sell. They would write the name of the person. Okay, so meaning that the owner agreed. Okay, and continue. Then even the action does not he took was performed in a manner that does not constitute a Kenyan transfer property. So just because he said, I want to buy this chair, I'm going to put this chair separately, or I'm going to write on a ticket, on some kind of sticker on this chair that reserved for Mr. Siman, right? It's not a Kenyan, right? But even though, right, even then, nevertheless, anyone who reneged on his commitment and withdraw from transaction, right? Right, and withdraw from this transaction, regardless of whether the buyer or the seller who withdraws. So basically, they say, look, doesn't matter who withdraws. This buyer also, right? If he said, I'm going to bring you the rest of the money in 3 days, and this guy, this seller, had the opportunity to sell it for customers, and they were passing by. They are from different town, and they say, look, we have one stop over. We have half an hour. Look, and I like this share. Please sell it to me. And the guy said, no, I already got deposit. I don't want to sell it. I cannot sell it. It's not this, not that. The guy said, okay. So, and this person who left deposit come and say, I changed my mind. My wife said, it's a green chair. She said, we only need a blue chair. And that's it. Right? So he has no right to do that. You understand? So it's whether buyer or seller, because it's transaction between two Jews. Not that in the manner of befitting a Jew, right? And must receive a curse of Mishapera, right? So this Mishapera curse is what? He who demanded retribution, right? So meaning meaning Hashem who demanded retribution, right? It's of course in the quote from who? From generation of the flood. Who exacted retribution to the people during generation of the flood. So why generation of the flood? Just to remind us, because that the business transaction was the last drop in the whole business, right? Even though they were acted perversely, Hashem said it's abomination. I have to destroy them. But when they did this business transaction, that was too much. So what is a business transaction? And now halacha we said before when we just started. So if the loss to the property less than a pruta, it's like negligible amount, right? So nobody is going to take you to court. So what is a pruta? It's the smallest currency in your country that you can buy something. So buy something like you would say like you go to fruit store, like to candy store. You say like when it's not packaged candy, when they can sell candy by weight. So you say I want to buy this one piece of candy. Okay, so of course they put in like weight, then the price per pound, per kilo, whatever, and they say okay it's 10 cents, let's say 3 cents, whatever is it, 5 cents. So you pay them 5 cents. So that means this 5 cents is a pruta. So, but less than 5 cents, like 3 cents, like if you cannot buy anything, let's say, or 2 cents, or whatever is it, that depends on the country. So nobody is going to take you to court, and even if person is going to take you to court, the court is not going to look in this case because most people they forgive. They do not care about this small amount, and that's exactly the people in the generation of the flood did. They would come. It's famous medrash. So somebody would sell nuts. They say, "Oh, okay, can I try one nut?" So the owner say, "Yeah, try." Why he allows to try? Because he thinks that people are going to buy 7 pounds or 10, or like I don't know. They're going to buy even 1 pound. It's worth it for him to give out few nuts because people are going to buy. Right, but these people had no intention to buy, and each one would come and take only one nut, right? And you will have 100 people, 200, and 1,000 people. So by the end of the day, the guy is bankrupt. Understand? And can you sue them? No. Can you say that they're thieves? So according to halacha, they're not thieves. I mean, according to I'm not sure about 7 laws of Noach. I don't know, maybe also. I'm not sure. Looks like also, but that's what Hashem said. That's enough. That's enough. You playing with probably not. Probably because it was less than pruta, so did not do anything. So Hashem said that's too much. That's enough. I have to destroy the world. So that's what this curse about. He who exacted retribution from the people who sinned during the generation of the flood, and from the people who sinned generation of the dispersion. Right? So meaning that they said, yeah, we're going to go against Hashem, we don't like his laws, too strict, too soft, too this, too that. We know better. We're going to fight him. Okay, so Hashem said, you know what? I have enough with you, right? And from people of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? They also decided their own laws. Hashem said, right? Who needs you? I'm going to destroy you. Right, so they destroy you and all of the curses, and we know all of these people, flood were cursed, meaning destroyed. This dispersion, many people were destroyed or turned into animals or demons or just were got the mixed languages, right? And Sodom and Gomorrah, and we know what happened to them. Okay, and from Egyptians who drowned in the sea, also a curse. So meaning Hashem, it's we have to understand what's going on. So he sees these people who ran on a deal, they action is not complete. Today, I think in most of the countries, I mean, maybe the seller is not going to be the happiest person, but or the buyer if you return a deposit, but I don't think any court would force them unless it was contracts, this and that. But in most of the cases, they do not care. But for a Jew, so it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. So we have to be honest, and we have to be act with integrity because we're representative of Hashem. So and sometimes a few times I saw that something wrong they're doing to me. I see some of the people, if I tell this girl at the counter she's registered, she's going to be embarrassed. She's not doing it on purpose. I just pass it. Hashem would compensate. It was a small issue, right? Okay, so right, and the Egyptian drowned in the sea due to their evil acts. So commentary. This is the listing. This is the listing of some of more prominent examples in the history when Hashem took vengeance on those who defile His will. Right. See Shema 284. Okay, we're going to get Sma. I'm sorry, Sma, not Shema. The action of these punishments can be found in Bereshit chapter 6 to 8. Okay, continue. He will he will exact retribution from one who does not stand by his word. Right, so it's very interesting. Yesterday, in our class, we said about oath, right? About all the nedarim, how you can cancel, not cancel, about tzedakah, not tzedakah. So we gave all of the examples, and that's what exactly what I said. And it's sages, of course. I said because the sages said so. If we promise something, and even if we don't say a promise, I swear, but the other person understood, we have to stand by our word. Right, so commentaries say Ramah 244 writes that the Beis Din curses the person specifically. Right, he will exact retribution from you, not in general. Far-fetched. You know what happened in the time of the flood? No, he said Hashem will curse these people and these people. He's going to curse you if you're going to run on a deal, right? If you do not keep your word, unbelievable, right? So that's a Jewish business. You understand? So when people were God fearing and they understand the consequence, so many people would ignore it. What Rabbi just said because they do not understand the consequences. Understand, right? But if a person understands that how Hashem sees it, and even though maybe another person is not going to take us to Beis Din, but in the eyes of Hashem, that's what person deserves. So we're trying to be very careful, and sometimes it's not it's not to our advantage. I give you example, like person who it's actually my mother's girlfriend father, right? So he's from I don't know, he's 90 something years old. So the story happened in one of these in Western Europe, right? So and it was it was still communist state, right? I think 1990s, 1990s. I don't know, like say in those years, right? I think it's still communist state, right? And they allowed him to. So he was about to immigrate to America, and they allowed them to sell the apartment, and but sell apartment only for rubles. Okay, so who needs rubles in America? Nobody, right? So and he agreed with his neighbor for, I think the price was 15,000 rubles. I mean, plus, I don't know, like huge amount. Right, I mean it's a good price, but for a neighbor, he said, I want to buy it for my daughter. It's on like in the same building, like we're neighbors for so many years. He said, okay, no problem. And I think two weeks later, they passed a law, so now you can sell your apartments for dollars, basically, right? So dollars to rubles, it's I think it was 1 to 10. I don't know. They told me this story. I don't remember exactly, but huge difference, like 10 times or 15, 20 times minimum. He could have got like the difference, and people came to him. Look, the guy did not take the deposit because he trusts you. He knows you for been living in the same apartment building for so many years. So he did not take deposit. He knew that this friend of ours, like an honest person, and now the family said maybe you have to tell him, and he would understand, like no normal person, like they did not sign any papers, they just agreed on this amount. And this person, unfortunately she's not religious, unfortunately. I tried to, but he's too much of communist brain. That's the downside. But he's so Jewish, so the Jewish soul, he was so honest. He said, no, I said 15,000 rubles, it means 15,000 rubles, so whatever amount, that's it. He said, my word is very important to me. So I was very young, right? I was like, wow, that's I never heard of people like that. People say, look, buddy, I understand I said that, but you know that everybody sells in dollars. It's 10 times more, 20 times more. You don't expect me to say whatever we said, but it was a mistaken price, right? So and not mistaken, it was not mistaken, but I can get 10 times more. So you want to buy it, buy. If not, I'm sorry, I'm going to sell to somebody else. And he stuck to his word. Like very, very impressive. So I think that these people, if they normal, they would tell this story over till this day. This one crazy Jew, right, who stood by his word. Okay. Any questions before we continue? Misha Pera. Yes, go ahead.
Is it 100% mandatory that we have to be in the presence of a Beit Din to pronounce or say this curse against someone?
No, it's a Beit Din does. So they I tell you what, I never learned the details of the Beit Din proceedings because I learned only in Rambam said the halacha. But it's my understanding. It's not it's my understanding. They would try not to curse another Jews, so they would try to negotiate the settlement. You understand? So in order not to curse him, the guy still wants this item. The second guy say I can get much more, right? So he can pay some kind of compensation or something. Like today, for example, right? If you want to buy a apartment, right, and you give a deposit, I don't know, they give 10% whatever deposit. The deposit goes to escrow, to the lawyer. So and if you say no, I changed my mind. So I'm not sure how much of this deposit. Maybe the whole deposit you're going to lose. Maybe half of it. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but for sure they entitled to get a part of the money. That's why they don't want less than 10%, for example, as a deposit. Of course, they're not going to get it in a normal circumstances. Only when you sell for there is a closing and you sign your lawyer, their lawyer sign all the papers. But the thing is, right? if you decided to manage the deal, they're going to keep part of this money partially, for sure. So I like that. What I'm trying to say, that I assume it's not halach, but I would assume that Beis Din, instead of like before cursing, would try to negotiate this thing, right? Look, he said, look, this guy is pressing. He wants this item. He gave it 10%, so please give it to him, right? Or say, you know what, guy, I'm not going to give it to you, but keep this 10%. Okay, right? So he's like some bonus for you. Okay, so maybe, right. In this case, they would negotiate before cursing somebody, because it's a severe curse, as we understand. And whatever the Beis Din says, it's whatever the Beis Din says, like they stamp, the Beis Din in Shamayim agrees. You understand? So better not to ever be in this situation. Okay. Good. Okay. Any other question? Yeah, go ahead.